Good morning, folks. Hope we're all well today. Mr. E, thank you very much for your super chat. As the other Davies said in the comments, I'll make sure it fills several tummies. That's for sure. So thank you very much, folks. And anybody that's new here, if you don't know what it is we do with donations to the show through super chat and through the bank, we give it all away to food banks. Every month we give £250 to 3 separate food banks in different areas of Scotland. This month we're in Ayrshire. I'm just waiting on a few bank details being confirmed, and then I'll get down the bank on Monday and get this month's money out the door. Okay, also this afternoon, folks, I will give you a total on what's in the bank before I start distributing the money this month. Okay, so I'll get a wee slip out the bank to tell us what's in the account, and I'll show it to you this afternoon when the Two Davies is on. Right, let's have a quick look and see who's in. Desiree, Stevie Charlton, Harry Bendix, Doug Copeland. Who else we got? We'll get Spanner McTavish, Desiree Bincat, Francis McKenna. We've got Mel. We've got Avril Lamb. We've got Margaret Mackay. We've got Duncan. Neil McLean, Class Action. Good morning, Class Action. Jim Stevens, June Dalrymple, John Baxter, Rosie McGregor, Carl Oates. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Reagan Elite. Folks, Reagan Elite will be right on right after me. I'm sure Alistair will put a link in the comments. That's if Alistair's here. I haven't seen him pop up this morning. Morning, Lorraine. Morning, Scott. Morning, Millie. Morning, Mr. E. As I say, thank you very much for your kind generosity this morning, Mr. E. How's the Orkneys today? I don't know. Good morning, Callum C. Morning, Kirsty Hamill. Good morning, Christina. Right, I think I've got you all. Hi, George. Hi, Alan. Right, as I say, Sandy. Hi, Barbara. Hi, John O'Rourke. Good morning, Andy. For a cold Holyrood. Hollywood, is it? Well, I had a wee look this morning and it's 18 degrees Celsius in Hollywood. So I guess it must be Hollywood in Northern Ireland you're talking about. Because it's definitely not Hollywood in California. Hi, Julie. Right, let's get this underway, folks. It's Andy Truck Davy out the truck, not home, in his office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where it is. Thanks, Andy. Thank you very much, dear boy. That reminds me, Andy, I've got a new camera coming in the day. Milligan and I are both getting new cameras coming in the day, so it should be fun. Hopefully this one will plug in and play. I've got the same model, but it wasn't working with his computer, so I've went and sent the black one back because David was getting the same one for half the price. So I ordered the half price one and sent the full price one back. There you go. And Class Action tells us, I see Rachel Reeves from accounting is in trouble again. Aye, just a bit, but we'll get there, Right, let's get this underway, shall we, folks? As I say, right, so the truck in his office, it's 6 degrees here. And today's high, there is rain in the forecast. Today's high will be 10 degrees. Humidity is 87%. Wind speed 7 to 16 kilometres an hour or 4 to 12 mile an hour in all money. And the pollen count, Disney count. That's the weather for Salisbury, North Lanarkshire. You might know what it was like you. Look at your rain, bloody Monday. I mean, maybe just let us know in the comments what it's like where you are. And thank you very much. You're all been very generous this morning. And you've got a video game controller jumps up and down excitedly. Strap it to the table and you might lose it. Morning, Ackies. Right, first up this morning, folks, we get Scotsman. Let's get Scotsman up. What nonsense has it got for us this morning? And the Scotsman says maternity unit had culture of mistrust. Now, this is a report into the Edinburgh Royal Infirmary maternity services by Health Improvement Scotland. Now, I've had a good look through that article this morning and I've a quick skim through the report. And I don't see anything about mistrust. I do see that it's understaffed, but everywhere is, thanks to Brexit. that the staff are under extreme pressure, usual stuff for the NHS. It's been underfunded since the Tories came to power in 2010-11. So, no, I don't see where the mistrust bit comes from, a culture of mistrust. I don't see where it comes from the report or this article. I don't. But that's the headline. Apparently, there is mistrust in maternity services at Edinburgh Royal Infirmary, folks. So that's the Scotsman. Let's get shot of that rag. Next up this morning, we've got the Herald. What's the Herald got for us this morning? The Herald has, we'll get it up so you can see it. Visa call over exploitation of foreign care sector staff. Now, I'm not quite sure what that's about. In order for foreign care worker staff to be here in the first place, they would need a visa. So I've absolutely no idea what that's about. Because most foreign workers that are here are on a 3-year to 5-year work visa. And then they apply for the right to stay. So no, I don't see what this article's all about. And to be fair, with it being the Herald, I couldn't be arsed looking into it. As far as I'm aware, foreign workers that work here come here on a work visa. But that's the Herald for you. Well, I suppose that's a dig at Westminster for a change rather than Holyrood. Well, no doubt it's got a way of twisting it into something to do with Holyrood. Right, the answer has Doll Liar, Kira, signed up for documentary. Now, folks, I don't know if you remember this story. The answer ran a story a wee while back, and I said this wee lassie needs help. She had tricked her friends and family into thinking she was pregnant. And then, when it was due to pop, she took a picture of herself with a lifelike doll, claiming it was the newborn baby. And as I say, this isn't the sort of help this wee lassie needs. In fact, this will probably drive her to bloody suicide. The idea of making a documentary or fooling her friends and families over a pregnancy which was fictitious, that's not a TV documentary. That's a trip to the mental hospital and severe help, because somebody who does something like that has got some real mental health problems. It's not something that should be put out in a TV documentary. That's disgusting. This wee lassie has some serious mental health problems. Attention seeking being one of them, and putting her on the TV is not the right way to sort this out. I think the story of this wee lassie is going to end up being quite tragic, folks. It's quite a disgusting notion. This young lady's got serious mental health problems. Unbelievable. Right, next up, we've got the Times. So what's the Times got for us this morning? Prostate tests from age 50 would save thousands. And so it would. So it would. But it's all about cost. It's all about cost. Will it be rolled out? If it's cost efficient, yes. If it is not cost efficient, then no. Okay. So let's get rid of the Times. But the headline is true. Testing everybody at 50 would definitely catch a lot of people who are suffering from prostate cancer early and allow them to get treated. But is it cost efficient? Because if it's no, it's not getting rolled out. Okay, next up we have the first of the two loony rags, the fail. So let's get the fail up. And what's the fail got for us this morning? Apparently, Rachel Reeves has been illegally renting out her own family home since she moved into number 11 down the street, and she's raking in £3,000 a month, but she didn't get a landlord certificate to allow her to rent the place out, to say the place was safe. It hadn't been certified. So it would appear that Reeves has broken the law. So I guess we could be getting a new idiot in the Chancellery shortly. She's reported herself to the Ethics Committee, as did Angela Rayner. I would imagine that the outcome should be the same. If not, there should be a steward's inquiry and Angela should be asking bloody questions. But it would appear that the front bench of this particular Labour Party are as bent as the front bench of the last Conservative Party. We've got a tax dodger, somebody renting out a property illegally because it's not been certified and she doesn't have a licence to rent. And we'll get Sir Kid Starver, the genocide enabler. We're a bunch of fucking crooks in that front line. Oofed. So, Rachel for accounts is in the shite right enough, but for a different reason this time. Although she's in the shite for what she's about to do down that road as well. Right, next up we've got the National. Yep, definitely the National. And the National has well, this is about Steve Reid. Minister misled public in attack on Scotland's water quality. Now, what's this all about? Well, it was reported to the regulator by Seamus Logan up in Aberdeenshire. And the regulators had a look at the statement, had a look at the facts and went back to him and said, you better correct the record here, Minister, because guess what? You're wrong. Scottish water is far superior to English water. So this Steve Reid, who claimed that Scotland's water was dirtier than England's water, has just been wrapped to the knuckles by the regulator and been told, you better apologise for misleading the public. Oh, hold on, I want to put that one back up with it because there's an interesting bit in the bottom. Swinney vows progressive alliance with Plaid Cymru. Of course he does. And Westminster's about to be in a shitload of trouble. You'll have a pro unification government in Northern Ireland. You'll have a pro-independence government in Scotland, a pro-independence government in Wales, and probably in 3-4 years' time, a right-wing British nationalist in government in England. I think we can say fair and squarely, this union is over. This is just about sitting down at the table and getting the details sorted out. Because Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, we're all headed off in different directions from Little England. Sorry, Little Westminster. We're all headed off in the progressive lane. We're all on the left of politics. Westminster's no. As Zach Polanski pointed out in a Sky interview the other day, when he was asked about splitting the vote on the left, he said, what the fuck are you talking about? Labour's nowhere near the left. And Zach Polanski's correct. I have been saying it for a long time. Since Tony Blair came to power, I've been saying Labour's no on the left. You could see the journey from the left in the 70s, through the 80s, to Blair coming to power in 97. You could see the Labour Party tacking right. And now they're right of centre. They're not even slightly right of centre. They are way right of centre. Not quite as far as Farage, not quite as far as the Tories, but right of centre, way right of centre. So I imagine that John will get into quite a comfortable relation with Plaid and with Sinn Féin. Okay. Right, after the National, we've got the Telegraph, I think it is. Yep. Next up, we've got the Telegraph, folks. Let's see what Telegraph's got for us. This one makes me smile. I'm glad you popped in, Rachel. Reeves eyes 2p income tax rise. And I thought, well, that doesn't bother us. It does if they go for the base rate. If they reset the base rate, then it will affect us here. But Reeves eyes 2p income tax rise. Starmer's left the door open for it to do it. Another manifesto pledge out the fucking window. Is anybody surprised? This lot haven't kept a single pledge they've made. And the next headline makes it even funnier. Talk about dishonesty in government. No wonder there's no trust in politics in England and in Westminster. Next up, I've got the eye, and this makes it even funnier because it tells it as it is. But can I say we didn't warn people that this lot were a bunch of lying shits? Starmer signals rising basic rate of income tax to avoid austerity. Avoid austerity? What the fuck are you talking about avoiding austerity? This is austerity. And it will continue. Because apparently there's a 22 billion black hole needing filled. And the Bank of England governor's refusing to get the fucking printing press out. Either that or Rachel's not asking them to get the printing press out. So another manifesto pledge broken. No, no be a skinny latte, Rachel. It'll be full fat, please. 2 sugar in mine. Thank you very much, my dear. Skinny latte. That's for you Londoners. Up here in the north, we drink real coffee. Apparently, Mr. E fancies a latte as well, Rachel. You're getting yourself quite you might be getting hired here right enough. Right after you're forced to resign for illegally renting out your house. Lorraine's right. Starmer talks shite. UK is drowning in harsh poverty under Labour Tories destruction. Correct. Absolutely correct. But this tells the truth of it. Starmer signals rise in basic rate of income tax to avoid austerity. Avoid austerity, my arse. If they plug a black hole, austerity will continue. We've already been told that there'll be tax rises and service cuts. That's austerity, folks. No matter what label they try to tack on it. It's a bit like the Office for Budget Responsibility and its downgrade to productivity. Downgrade to productivity. What that means, folks, is fucking shrink the economy. What this means is Starmer's a fucking liar. There will be austerity. And tax rises. Unbelievable. There is just no trust in that parliament down that road. The English people don't trust it. The Scottish people don't trust it. The Welsh people don't trust it. The Northern Irish people don't trust it. Time to expand it, disband it. And it's time for England to start again. It really is. Next up this morning, we have the other loony rag, the Express. No, we hadn't. What was that last one? That was the Telegraph. Oh, no, that was the last one. Next up, we've got the Scum. So, what's the Scum got for us this morning? Apparently, they finally got one. He's knifed by fellow traitors. Apparently, this is about TV programme traitors. And apparently they got one of the traitors. Woozy. Whoever the fuck Woozy is. Anyway, apparently the contestants are idiots for taking so long to find the traitor. No interest in the story whatsoever, folks, but it's there, so I need to tell you about it. Next up, we'll put up a loony rag, the Express. And what's the right-wing knuckle-draggers rag got for us this morning? Sex attacker migrant was given 500 to leave Britain. Now, apparently, Habush Kabatu, I think that's how it's pronounced, the guy who was mistakenly released from prison after molesting a woman and a 14-year-old girl, he was going to put in an appeal to get to stay in the United Kingdom, and they bunged him 500 quid to get an appointment to Ethiopia. I don't know where he came from, but Ethiopia is where he's gone. And apparently was given a wee 500 quid to take with him. Well, it wouldn't have been nice to send somebody away and leave them fucking destitute, would it? Not 500 quid's going to go that for. But I suppose in Ethiopia, it might last them a month or two. Right, after that, only rag, we have the Metro. I think the Metro's on the same story, actually. Now jail farce migrant paid to go quietly. 500 quid's not a lot of money. Costs a lot more than that to keep on in jail. But should he be released? No, he should have served his time and then be deported. But apparently they just want him out the country. All right, the Metro. What comes after the Metro? I think it's the Guardian. And the Guardian has, let's have a look. Grooming victims accuse Farage of degrading remarks over abuse. Now, apparently, Froggy Farage has said that 5 of these women weren't victims at all of grooming gangs. What he means by that, I don't know. But these 5 victims have taken offence at it. And rightly so. Farage is a fucking idiot. And a racist. And a fascist. And as for all this stop the boats nonsense that he's been piping up, he caused the fucking boats. They're Nigel's boats. They're Nigel's boat people. So there. Because prior to that fucking idiot convincing the people of England to vote for Brexit, we had something called the Dublin Agreement. That meant that when they arrived here, they could get shipped back to whatever European country they came to first. And an exchange, and a returns agreement. That returns agreement ended with the Brexit vote. So the reason why we have people crossing the channel in huge numbers, well, the reason they have people crossing the channel in huge numbers is because of Nigel Farage and Boris Johnson and anybody else who was on the Leave side. Costs $50,000 per year to keep a prisoner in jail. Thanks, class action. Right. As I say, outrageous remarks for Farage. And these women are angry, and so they should be. But we expect that sort of thing for Froggy. Victim bashing. That's what he does with migrants, folks. Asylum seekers, he bashes them. They are victims of prosecution, of warfare, of whatever it is that's made them have to leave their own home. They're coming here seeking refuge, and Farage stands there and beats them with a big fucking stick. It's victim beating. These people turned up to our shores with nothing. Fleeing persecution, fleeing warfare, fleeing famine. And Froggy's idea of how to help these poor creatures, these poor people, is to call them economic migrants and demand that they're thrown out. The milk of human kindness is really on show when it comes to asylum seekers and victims of abuse when it comes to Froggy Farage. Right, let's go into the last one of the day, shall we? What's the star got for us today? Well, the star's on a charity story and a suicide story, unfortunately. So let's put it up. And the star has, readers dig deep. Daily Star helps Hatton charity hit target. Now, this is a mental health charity that was set up after the death of the boxer Ricky Hatton, where he hung himself and committed suicide, unfortunately. Obviously, the gentleman needed help and didn't know how to reach out for it. It is a problem with young men. But it's alright not to be alright, and it's good to talk, folks. It is. It's very important that if you are feeling pressures in your life, don't bottle them up. Don't bottle them up. Speak to somebody. Whether it be friends, family, your GP, speak to somebody. Tragic death of this young man at 40 shows you he must have been troubled for a while. And he's obviously kept it bottled up. Anyway, that's the start for us today. Now, thank you all for your kind generosity today. I say I'm just checking with a couple of these charities in Ayrshire, make sure their bank details are still the same as they were the last time, because we've been in Ayrshire a few times now. And to see that these particular organisations are still in existence. If they're no, we'll find other ones. So as I say, this afternoon, I'll let you know what's in the account. And by Monday, I should have all the details I require to get the payments out. Okay. Now, use a lot after yourselves. David and I will be back this afternoon to talk about some of the subjects that have come up in the papers and other things that are going on here in Scotland. The latest polling, maybe. We'll see. So, 4 o'clock, folks. Don't be late, or it's a naughty step. Thanks very much for watching some very high numbers. 151 of you at the moment. Hit the like button, please. It helps the algorithm. Share across your social media if you wish. I'm not really bothered one way or another, but you do know. Self-promotion's never been my thing. And remember, Young Reagan Elite goes live right after me. Okay. Has Phyllis Mooseface been in the chat? No, certainly hasn't. Cockhead Dundee or Dundee. All right. Now, folks, Larry the cat's been putting out some Halloween stuff. It's quite freaky. It's quite spooky. It's AI generated and it's good. Have a wee look at Larry's channel. Remind Reagan Elite's gone live right after me. For anybody that wishes to get the news from an English perspective. And Alistair's just dropped the link in the comments. Okay, as I say, we'll be back at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Use a look after yourself. See you then. Don't be late. You're on the naughty step. Bye for now.